Biblio Fools.
But I mean, that'll be a perfect segue into starting because I think we all love this book.
Yeah, Mac.
Yeah,
Golden choice.
yeah, 100%. Well,
Right.
welcome everyone. Let's get weird. What do you say, fellas? Should we get weird?
Let's get weird. We're going to Portland, baby.
Yeah.
That's right, land of the weird. Oh, I didn't even put that together. Well, I'm Evan. I'm joined by Mikhail Rowe and Kyle Dunshee. This is Biblio Fools, a show for people who want to read books, but not as bad as they want to look at their phones. What we've done is we've read a book, which we do every week, and after this hour, you're going to have one more book you don't have to read. This week's book, more than any book we've covered, is going to make all your dreams come true. All your dreams, even the naked ones. I'm super pumped.
Is it the naked one's like, oh, I have to do a test, but I'm naked.
Have
Is it
you
like
guys
those
e-
ones?
have you guys ever had one of those? I think that's all just fiction. Like you just see that on TV. I've never had a dream where I'm like, oh no, I'm naked and I have to take a test.
I have a recurring factor of dreams that I have is that I need to go somewhere and I'm in a rush, but I can't find the right clothes and like it's not my clothes and I keep trying to put them on. And so it's kind of a naked dream, but I'm just trying to get ready and I just can't get ready.
So no.
Yeah, no.
That is interesting though. That's the closest I've ever heard anyone come to having a
It's
dream, a naked
it,
dream.
it's in the family. I'm naked in
It is in
that.
the Yeah,
I'm going
okay.
in and out of nudity.
Okay, yeah.
Like you
Yes.
pass through nudity. I think we can take it.
Well, I think that it's not passing through nudity. I put on clothes and take off clothes. I think that's, the
But here's
definition
the
of.
critical question is, are you ever fully nude?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Then
It
we're
Okay.
counting
starts
it.
you start nude.
That totally counts then.
Okay.
I am
Boom.
so excited to talk about this week's book. We went all the way back to 1971 for the science fiction classic The Lathe of Heaven by Ursula K. Le Guin. Set in a dystopian future of Portland, Oregon, a seemingly unremarkable man named George Orr discovers his dreams have created a new reality. He enlists the help of a psychologist who quickly begins using George's dreams for his own nefarious purposes. It's a book that examines ethics, the nature of dreams, and the cosmic balance of the yin and yang. This was McKylan's turn to pick. Mac, why the Lathe of Heaven?
Okay. So I was listening to another podcast and it actually goes in. We like to do our bit where we cast the book, and so it's perfect because I'm also going to cast the book as I tell you about why. So I was listening to Paul Giamatti's podcast. I can't remember the name of his podcast now. I think it's called Chinwag. And they were just talking about how much he loves to read books and all these different books that he reads. And it was with Bill Hader. And Bill Hader was like, oh, have you read The Lathe of Heaven or anything by Ursula K. Le Guin? And he was like, oh, I love her. She's a great writer. And I was like, writing it down. And naturally, a couple months later, we decided that we are going to read books. And that's actually, I had bought this book forever ago.
Really?
Do we have
And
the
you
same
just
copy?
stared
Had
at
it.
it.
We do.
Yeah.
The cover is awesome.
The cover's sick, and it's just I didn't know anything about it before we started reading it. I had no idea, and so this has been the best experience.
I, I'm I'd like to say I'm grateful to Paul Giamatti and Bill Hader for putting this in your ear holes because that led us to this. And I had no idea this book existed. It's awesome. It's awesome.
It's great, and then in a great turn of events, my casting for the book, based off of that, would be George Orr would be Bill Hader, and then Habner. How are you guys saying
I
it?
thought it was
Hey,
Haber,
Haber.
Haber.
no
Why am I
end.
saying? I don't know why I'm getting an N in here. I listened to it. I didn't read this. I didn't read this. I own this, but I wasn't home when we picked it, and so I listened to it. And it says Haber in there. I'm just an idiot. But cut all that out. No, leave it. Fuck it. But no, so I would want Haber to be Paul Giamatti and George Orr to be Bill Hader.
I
I
love that casting.
I love that casting. Have you seen? And this is a tangent that will most likely get cut. Have you seen the Beach Boys movie? I don't remember what it is with Paul Dano.
Oh,
Because
and
in that
John
movie,
Cusack.
Yeah, and John Cusack. It's an awesome movie. Love and Mercy. That's what it's called. In that
Mm.
movie, Paul Giamatti plays a psychologist who is manipulating his patient, and it's based on real life. And he does such a good job. I would love to see him perform this role. So,
Paul Giamatti. This week's episode is sponsored by the Paul Giamatti fan club because I absolutely love Paul Giamatti.
Let's acquaint the audience here with our cast, and then this is all going to make sense. So, but you have two people to keep in mind: Bill Hader and Paul Giamatti. It does make it better that this book is coming to us courtesy of those two guys.
Yeah.
So, yes, the book is set in Portland, Oregon, in 2002, but not our 2002. This is a 2002 as a dystopian future ravaged by climate change imagined from 1971. So climate change, overpopulation, food scarcity, and global conflict.
yes, Portland is one of the best cities. It's probably very arguable. I love Portland, Oregon. Mount Hood played a big part in this as far as symbolisms. I have a Mount Hood tattoo. It's the second tattoo I ever got. I was all in on this. And I love this so much that even though it is a dystopian Portland, I was looking to buy property there. Can't afford it. No surprise. But man, this book made me miss Portland so freaking much, even though it's a weird, washed up version of Portland.
Yeah, I didn't really I don't know how you guys read books, but when you read it, do you picture it as it's going?
Like, make a mental picture, like a mind
Like
movie?
yeah, you're like doing a little brain movie as you're reading it.
Yeah, I tried to.
I feel like most people do that, but well, now I'm learning that some people like when they don't do that at all. Like some people don't picture stuff in their head. You ever hear about that?
Yeah,
No,
it's weird. It freaks me out, and I don't believe in it.
I don't.
Yeah, I don't. It makes me worried about my mental health. But I'm like, am I crazy then?
You're
Well,
among a crazy population.
apparently, if you can picture stuff in your head, but I didn't picture. Oregon didn't play into my picturing of anything that was going on. It was just like vague dystopian city.
Really? I think it's one of the reasons I like the book so much because there were places he describes that I've been, that, part of my heart belongs in Portland and always will. And so I was just like, this is awesome. This is sad. It makes what happens in the book kind of like, oh my gosh, this city I love so much. A lot goes down in it. So, you don't have to love Portland to love this book, but it helps.
There you go.
It's
I
true.
guess in my mind movie, I'm just picturing a lot of like hipsters and coffee and weed.
A lot of homeless people.
Was that
that-
what you were picturing?
No, I've never been to Portland, so I had nothing to picture. Yeah, I just had city,
General City.
general. Yeah.
That's what I picked. I've been to Portland, and that's what I pictured as well.
No, I was gonna ask, why is Portland so near and dear to your heart?
You really want to know? I served my LDS mission in Portland, and I bounced around. I lived a bunch of different cities there, Oregon City and Portland, Tigard, and I met my wife there. So seriously, part of my heart will always belong in Portland, despite the fact I can never afford to live there. But man, I love it. I love how much it talked about the Willamette River because that is my favorite river in the world. And so I don't know. This book just hit for me. It hit different for me.
I love that.
Amazing.
I don't have a favorite river. If I had to off the tip had to come up with a favorite river right now as I'm talking, and here we go, I'm gonna do it. It's Colorado. I think
Really?
because it's the river that goes through Utah, right?
It's an important river in Utah.
Yeah, because I've experienced it. That's the only river I've really taken time and experienced, I would
Wow.
say.
Incredible. Well, let's get acquainted with our cast here. We have.
But wait, you don't have a favorite river?
You don't have a favorite river.
I do have a favorite river. It's the Columbia.
Okay.
Columbia River?
Yeah, just a
Yeah.
little bit north.
Just a little bit
Um,
north. Yeah, they flow together. They're
Oh.
sisters. They're twin sisters. Sisters.
Tributaries.
Tributaries.
Right? One of them has got to be a tributary. I know that word.
Nice. And what is a tribute? Is that like a Hunger Games thing?
No.
No.
Cool.
It's a
All
river
right.
thing. It's
All right,
like
let's
when
meet
a
the
river
cast.
flows into another river.
Oh, it tributes.
Evan's favorite river, the Columbia, tributes to the Willamette, my favorite river, and because of that, they're sister.
We're kind of.
Oh, T and Tamara.
Yep.
Yep. Me and Kyle are connected in that way.
Mhm.
I love that.
Thank you.
Let's get acquainted with our cast here. We have George Orr, a drug addict who uses his drug rations and the rations of anyone he can to buy tranquilizers and barbiturates. We also have Dr. William Haber, a psychiatrist with a massive ego and a machine that induces dreams, who treats George after he's caught borrowing other people's rations. And Heather Lalash. Am I saying that right? Lalash? I read it Lalash. What does it say in the audio?
That's what I read too. That's a good question. I don't know, Mac. How do you pronounce her name in the audiobook?
It was just Lalash.
Nice.
Nice.
Yeah.
We nailed it.
Yeah,
Made
we
me
nailed
think
it.
of her as French, a little beret.
It's a slave
Yeah.
name. We'll get into that.
Oh yeah, it is. An attorney.
Yeah,
and
that's like a whole big part. That was a surprise, is how big
Race played in.
racism plays into the, like, yeah, that was cool.
But not in like the traditional way. All right.
No.
Heather is an attorney, an eventual love interest of George, who he reaches out to after he begins to suspect that Dr. Haber is using his dreams to play God by changing reality.
Love the characters. Good characters. Not perfect characters. George Orr is great, but sometimes he pisses me off. His passivity is frustrating at times, and I consider myself a pretty passive guy, but George is very, very passive.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he is. It's like a whole thing that he just sort of takes it as it comes.
Yeah.
I liked that though. I like changing it up a little bit, because I feel like a lot of, maybe it's just because of movies and stuff, but I feel like usually that's what a sci-fi lead is supposed to be like. Is it's supposed to be kind of, it's a window for us. So you're kind of just like, I don't know. They're not super specific, but then all these, I'm just thinking about all the times in movies and stuff where they do like a Philip K. Dick story, and they're like, what if Arnold Schwarzenegger plays him?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like they action him up.
Yeah, no, George is he's just a very passive, peaceful guy. He is a drug addict, but he's a drug addict because he's suffering so much. And this is directly from the book. I love this. It says, the reason he's using drugs is he's trying to lock the door through which the dreams came, but none of the keys had fit the lock. So he's suffering so much because of his dreams that he has become a drug addict, and that's what leads him to Dr. Haber, who, like it says, has a big-ass ego.
Yeah, from the jump. So on his first government-mandated treatment appointment, George reveals to Haber that he takes drugs to stop himself from dreaming, because sometimes when he dreams, especially vivid dreams, they alter reality retroactively, and he has no control over what he dreams. So it's important to talk about how this works. So it's not that he dreams about something, he wakes up, and then it exists in reality. It actually, when he wakes up, that has always been true, and everybody else's memories, they remember that thing having been true forever.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, the first example is Dr. Haber has a big old picture of Mount Hood, and he tells George to dream of a horse, and in that dream, George dreams that there's a horse, so that replaces the Mount Hood picture, and when he wakes up from his dream, George is like, look at that horse photo, and Haber's like, it's always been there, but then Haber realizes, because he watched it happen, no, there was actually a picture of Mount Hood. And so Evan described it better than I'm trying to right now. I just wanted to throw another plug in for Mount Hood.
It was confusing, but it could have been more confusing. But they did a really good job of making it like, if you're with George and you know he's gonna change, you can understand that something's different. I did appreciate, especially later when stuff starts popping off and going crazy.
Yeah.
The book, Ursula does a great job of keeping it like, at least clear.
My girl Ursula. Oh,
My
man.
girl Ursula, first name basis, was good.
She's not just a fat witch in Little Mermaid. She is a beautiful writer from Portland, Oregon.
Yes.
Incredible. Is she from Portland?
Yeah, I think she is.
Oh, so this is like hometown.
Yeah.
Is she really?
Okay.
Oh, so she's just writing about where she lives?
Yeah.
Yes. So no, she's writing about a man whose dreams alter reality.
Yeah. She's not writing what she knows.
I'm kidding. I don't know why I just randomly decided to take a shot at her.
You just can't help yourself.
Can't help himself.
It's
Hold
just
him back, somebody.
Oh, she died.
Well, she's old.
Yeah, she died in Oregon. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. Poetic justice. Justice? That's the wrong.
I don't know. I don't think that.
It's not justice. May she live a long life. That's what I say. She's dead already. It's fine.
Let's find out if she did. She was 88.
Yeah, you look that up. You look up her life, and the way that George discovers he has this dream is way less benign than just changing a picture. So he's got his aunt, right, is living in
Mhm.
his house,
His
and
aunt
she's
is
like
molesting
coming
him.
on to him.
She's
And
like, oh, she's taking off her shirt, getting in bed with him, and he's like, I don't like this. I don't like this. I don't like this at all. And it's like, duh.
well, yeah, and he's like conflicted because he does like it, but he's like, no, you're my aunt. This
Because
is
she's
so
like,
weird.
she's not like gross. And she's like young and attractive, like Aunt May from the Tom Holland Spider-Man. Imagine her trying to get in bed with you. You'd be a little conflicted.
It'd be tricky. So
Yeah, but he didn't
instead,
like it. That's what's clear. Is he's like, I don't like this.
Might have liked it a little, but it's his aunt.
Well, I think he says he's just like, I just hated that it kept happening.
Yeah, no, you're right. He didn't like it.
most
Maybe
likely.
the first time he's like, okay, cool, my jeans are a little tighter. And then the next time he's like, that's weird. I don't like this.
It's he's young. He doesn't know what's going on.
Yeah.
Well, he goes to sleep and then he dreams that she died. And when he wakes up, she had died weeks ago in a car crash. And everybody remembers her just having been gone. So this is why he takes drugs, is because sometimes when he dreams, people die.
And he calls these dreams effective dreams. They don't happen every single time, but every once in a while he'll have a very effective dream that will completely alter reality. And he doesn't feel good about it at all. He's not like, oh, cool, I'm going to dream I'm in like the girls' locker room. He's just like, this is not good. No one should have this power. Let's stop. But then he meets Dr. Haber, who's like the exact opposite.
Yeah. He's the moral center where he's like, it's bad. I killed a person.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And Haber doesn't hear any of that. He's like, oh, really? Let's go.
let's go. Let's see what we can do here. So Haber uses a combination of a violent form of hypnosis, so that he basically chokes him out.
Oh my
He's like,
gosh.
this whatever, I think it's a fictional form of hypnosis, I hope so, but it's like what, carotid something, but he like grabs his neck and he puts him into hypnosis almost immediately. And then there's a machine he invented called the augmenter, which forces George to dream about anything he tells him to dream. And then quickly he discovers that George isn't crazy. His dreams really are altering reality. And so, of course, he takes it upon himself to start improving the world in the ways that he sees fit, while also gaslighting George and telling him it's all in his head.
Yeah, it's pretty effed up. I texted you guys early on. I'm like, in case we needed another reason to hate psychiatrists, George Haber is just, he's the worst because he's clearly manipulating him and all of reality in the world. And he's like, nah, George, come on. Like, he just gaslights the crap out of him. George isn't an idiot, though. Like, he's aware.
But it's kind of that thing of, I think we see this a lot of like the morally gray hero. And this is kind of showing you like being a morally gray hero is not actually good.
Yeah.
You're not a hero. Once you're morally gray, you're going the other way. Just period. That's just kind of how it works. You can't. It's like the anti-hero trope. This kind of like gets rid of it. In my mind, it plays with it in like a fun way because Haber is a. He's not a bad dude necessarily. He's trying to do a good thing.
And the person who defends him the most is actually George, because
Yeah.
George is like, I don't think his intentions are bad. I really don't, but this is just too powerful and too dangerous.
Yeah, and I mean, that's like the coolest thing to me was how it's like George can change reality, but reality has a natural rule to it. So, I mean, we'll get into it in the next little thing, but like
Yeah.
when he starts killing, like when Haber's like, make it a utopian. It's like, okay, it's a fascist one.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's like all those like the genie like grants your wish, but
Yeah.
now it's like, oh, but now you have paper cuts all the time, or
Exactly. It's like, I wish I had the biggest penis. And it's like, yeah, you pass out every time you get going.
Or it's like, I wish I didn't crap my pants every day, and then like the wish didn't come true. And like
What?
your wife's yelling at you, and like you can't go to work anymore because you keep what?
So, yeah.
Kyle, you doing good, digestively speaking?
I don't know
Yes.
if we understand what wishes are. You don't.
I don't understand the concept of a wish.
Yeah, we gotta explain it real slow here.
Oh, hold on. You're telling me I just ask a guy for something and then this monkey's paw, you say? Is that what you call it? It makes it bad? But it gives me what I want, but there's consequences.
Exactly. That's precisely how it works. We're gonna talk all about how trying to play God is wrong, but I gotta ask, if you had an effective dreamer successfully hypnotized and hooked up to an augmenter, what would you tell him to dream?
You know, I don't want to get too into it because one of the things I would probably suggest is one of the things that Haber suggests, and then it gets so bad. Eventually, and I don't want to get too much into it, but eventually Haber's like, let's get rid of racism. That sounds like a really good thing, and you think it would be, but we're not meant to control these things,
But
and
it doesn't do that.
and we can dive into it more. But like initially, I'd be like, let's get rid of hate, let's get rid of all these things, but we're not meant to have this power.
See, if I could do it, I would, under my understanding of wishes, I think I would be really like, it would be a lot of, I need to be able to do certain tasks. Like, it wouldn't be as much, like, I would be like, I want to know how to do this thing. Like, a thing that would make me a lot of money or something. I'd be like, I want to know how to have this skill so that I can do the thing. Because then at least, like, but then I don't know what I don't know how the universe would balance that out. But it would give me, I would have to enact on it. It wouldn't just be giving it to me. And I feel like that the smallness would make it so it doesn't get back at you. You
I can
know?
see
You
that.
change yourself. You'd like Neo in the
Mm-hmm.
Matrix yourself and learn kung fu.
Yeah, I would be downloading
That's pretty
information. I'd be like, I need to know how to run a multi-billion-dollar company and a product that would be huge.
That's that's probably the right answer. For me, you know those like things that you think about when you're trying to go to sleep and then you just like sort of cringe, like things that you said to people or like did or put your foot in your mouth, you know?
Mm-hmm.
That's what I would get rid of. I would just
Okay.
be like, that never happened, and I just don't have to think about it.
That's
I
fair.
like that. I like that. But then don't those now I'm thinking about mine. I'm like, wouldn't that just change who I am though? And it's like the same thing. I feel like if you did that, wouldn't you just become a different person?
That's true. If I had nothing to cringe about at night, maybe I'd do those things like all the time and be
Yeah.
way worse off.
You learn from this book that anything that you think is a good wish is probably a bad wish. That's what I learned. Because you're right, Haber does have good intentions. He's got a huge ego on him, but for the most part, he's trying to help the world. So,
Yes.
in what ways does he try to do that immediately?
Yeah, so yeah, it goes from 0 to 60. George does become suspicious that this is happening. So he starts like just changing little things. Like so he makes it so he knows John F. Kennedy or like he met John F. Kennedy. And there's like these little small things. He comments early, Dr. Haber does, that he wants a window in his office. George wakes up from a dream and they're sitting in an office with a window. So it's little things at first, but George does become suspicious and he goes to find an attorney. That's Heather. So he meets Heather at this point. She doubts his claims because they're crazy and does agree, though, to observe a session where she discovers for herself that George is telling the truth while she watches Haber Thanos 6 billion people into non-existence to solve the overpopulation problem.
So that was one of my favorite little. Wait, am I mixing those? Because he asked just for a utopia, but then the way it does it is it gets rid of the 6 million people, right?
He tells him to dream about overpopulation, like his fears of overpopulation. Being
Okay.
Yeah, he totally manipulates him. He's like,
Yeah,
George,
yeah.
George, weren't you telling me you don't like rubbing elbows with people on the subway and things like that? And George is like, yeah, I guess. And he's like, don't you just wish that they would go away? And he's like, yeah, I guess. He's like, okay, now dream about that. And billions of people just disappear. And
Yeah.
and Heather watches the city morph and change, and so does Haber. And they're watching this outside that new window. The city of Portland just completely be modified into something it wasn't before.
And it's so crazy. Like when he wakes up, they're all horrified, but they're not talking about it because they also have both sets of memories. So they remember before and they remember after. And they're just like, oh my gosh, maybe that didn't just happen. Maybe that wasn't real. And Heather's like, oh yeah, like thank goodness there's no overpopulation problem. And yeah, it's just like chilling. And Haber's like, oh yeah, this has always been the way that it is, huh? Everybody remember how there was never an overpopulation problem?
Yeah, and he's like, he really just tries to pretend it didn't happen and pretend that he wasn't the bad guy in this. He really tries to justify himself hardcore.
I think when you kill 6 billion people, you're not really thinking like that it was bad. I don't think anybody commits a genocide and is like, that was a bad thing I did. I feel like if you're willing to do a genocide, wouldn't you also be like cool with it?
Yeah, and I don't think Haber knew exactly that's how it was going to go down because he didn't understand the nature of it. So I think, like Evan said, he was kind of shocked too. He's like, oh shit. So many people are gone and they never existed. Well, I solved the problem though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He just immediately is like, no, it's cool though. It's cool.
It's cool. Yeah.
It's good. Well, he actually pours himself a drink and like toasts to no one like an asshole and says, and he's like, to a better world. And then, like Thanos, he watches the sun set on a grateful universe.
But somehow a bigger dick than Thanos right now. I don't know.
Because at least Thanos, whatever, he kind of had a plan, and he felt bad about everything he was doing. But he was like, I gotta do it though, and like was remorseful. This guy,
Yeah.
Haber was just like, all right, well, okay, here we go.
Whoops.
Oops.
I guess these are the cards I've been dealt. Okay.
So from here, the book, I mean, he's changing little things, and then 6 billion people are dead, and then it just goes. The book sort of unravels into a psychedelic series of jumps between different realities. Haber is making more and more changes, but every time he tries to change something for good, is like we were talking about before, he creates some other equally bad set of problems. So while George and Heather, they're kind of drawn closer and closer together through this process, but feel really helpless because he has to go to Haber or else he can't get the drugs that stop him from sleeping. And he kind of feels like, well, it's better if somebody's controlling my dreams than me just dreaming and then random people are dying.
Haber's got him right by the nuts. Where
he's got that balls.
He just like, yeah, he has to go to Haber, and he knows because he's like, it could be worse. Like bad things are happening. But it could be so much worse because at least there's some control over this. George, like most of us, especially me, does not like uncertainty. And that's why he, I think, started taking the drugs in the first place. He's like, I don't know what could happen. And he's trying to run from that. And Haber offers him some certainty, but with these terrible conditions. So George is kind of conflicted. He's like, I know I got to get away from this guy, but I'm also so worried about what will happen if I don't go with him and I don't go to this mandatory therapy.
Yeah, it's a very good depiction of an abusive relationship.
Yeah.
It nails it on the head because George, and the nice thing about this book is that you don't ever get mad at George. You're just like, yeah, I get it.
Yeah.
At least for me, I was just like, how's he gonna get out of this? Like, you're very much on his side with it. It doesn't get in that annoying thing where you're just like, just stop going to him. Like it's just so well written how much of a pickle he's in.
Yeah. Not to mention, Haber is still gaslighting him. So he's like, hey, you should stop messing with reality using my dreams. And he's like, reality is the way that it's always been. He's like, we've got to stop this delusion that reality somehow changes. With time, you'll come to accept your dreams and accept reality the way it is. So it's just like, it's maddening. You're right. It is like an abusive relationship where he's like, no, reality is this way. And if you think it's otherwise, you're crazy.
Mm. And he's got all the power. And especially as he starts changing things, he starts making himself more prominent in the field of psychiatry. He becomes like the most important guy almost in the world at some point. And so obviously George is just some guy who's running from his dreams, and he's going to trust this guy who is becoming more significant and more powerful each time.
Yes. So finally, Haber's like, all right, let's tackle world peace. So he sits down. He's like, I want you to think about a peaceful world with no war. There's kind of there's a backdrop of war happening that's like oddly prescient for being written in 1971. There's like issues in Eastern Europe and the Middle East, and like, anyways, there's
let's if we want to get into that, they want us to feel that all the time. There's always war. That's the deep state. No, I'm kidding. Okay.
Well, Haber, he's coming at it like that. He's like, aren't you tired aren't you tired of the war in the Middle East? And so then he like goes to sleep.
Yeah.
And when he wakes up, there's no war anymore because aliens attacked the Earth. And it's like the first thing that unified everybody. So the aliens have landed on the moon. They killed all the astronauts that were on the moon. And there's aliens now. So the world's united.
This is where the book really gets going. It just when you do already think like, oh, this is crazy. We're like jumping realities and stuff, and then aliens show
Yeah.
up. It's just so nice to read like an old school hard sci-fi book because they'll be like, yeah, aliens are not even the biggest part of this. We're tackling these ideas that are insane. Like, what is reality actually? Yeah, there's fucking aliens. Who cares, man?
Well, it becomes more and more that way. So George runs away to a cabin in the woods and stays awake for 2 days. And Heather is trying to track him down. When she finally finds him, she comes clean to him and says, hey, I've been trying to pretend like this isn't what happened, but I definitely watched Portland melt, and we got to stop this guy. So together, Heather basically, she has some experience with hypnosis, so she persuades him to fall asleep, hypnotizes him, and then induces a dream that will make Dr. Haber come clean about his tampering. But even she can't help herself but trying to fix the world's problems. So she kind of throws it in as an afterthought. She says, okay, Haber's going to come clean and be honest with you from now on. And the aliens aren't on the moon anymore. And of course, he wakes up and they're immediately on Earth.
Oh my god.
Yeah, the aliens attack Earth immediately.
Yeah, and this is, I mean, it's interesting because so far we've only had Haber, who's an egomaniac controlling the dreams, and now we have Heather, who is very much a good person. And even her attempts to make George's life better and make everyone's life better turn out so disastrous.
Yes.
My thing is with stuff like this, I don't know how you guys feel, but my immediate reaction if I was Heather would be, even if I loved him, I'd be like, shoot this guy. We gotta shoot him. We gotta shoot him. This is so bad. Like after 6 billion people don't exist anymore, I'd be like, shoot the guy, shoot him, shoot him.
He talks about as one of suicide as one potential way out. I don't remember why he doesn't choose that path. He's like, yeah, I could just kill myself, but then that won't solve anything, and so it's complicated.
Haber says something about it where he's like, it's like George isn't brave enough to kill himself.
Yeah,
I think that's the thing. Yeah,
that might be the crux of it.
Yeah, like he's just like, George is not like, you just wouldn't go to that thing because it takes too much or something. I can't remember the actual bit of it, but I just remember being like, damn, this is it's so dark. It's a pitch black book that is so cool.
Yeah, 100%. So aliens are everywhere. So he wakes up and Heather's like, we gotta go because there's aliens everywhere. And so they're like running away from they're seeing rockets come down. Like they hit Mount Hood and Mount Hood like explodes. And so it's like this apocalyptic scene with this volcano erupting in the background and smog and fire. So they get up to the top of his tower. They find Haber, and he's like, quick, sit in the augmenter. And then they put him to sleep with his crazy chokehold hypnosis. Mm-hmm. And then
which just traumatizes Heather again when she sees that. She's like, oh man, stop touching this guy's neck.
And he makes him dream that the aliens are nice. So as they're coming through, they crash through the window, and then the door opens, and this 9-foot turtle comes out. They're in a suit, a turtle suit. And they speak out their elbows, and they're nice now.
And they're just like, they have one of my favorite quotes, which I wrote up here. It's a profound quote for me, probably not for everyone else, but they're just like, what are you guys worrying about? We're just here. Why are you guys attacking us? The aliens go from, we're going to destroy you, to stop hurting us. Tell your military to leave us alone so fast because of the power of George's dreams.
Power of dreams.
So the power of dreams.
What voice does that sound like? It sounds like some.
It's the power of dreams, McIsland.
That's Obi-Wan Kenobi. That's
Old Ben Kenobi.
Old Ben Kenobi. Haven't heard that name in years.
Luke, I've been watching you grow, and I am very impressed. Been watching you through your window. You become quite the man. Would you like me to show you your father's saber? Old Ben Kenobi was kind of a creep.
He was a saint. Obi-Wan Kenobi is the best Jedi. I've been
Okay.
watching. He's the best Jedi. He's
Have you
like
have you ever
2 for
heard of
10 for
Qui-Gon
fights.
Jinn? Have you ever
Dude,
heard of?
Qui-Gon Jinn folded when he saw the first Sith Lord.
That's because he was
Died
so
immediately.
scary. Darth Maul's so scary.
Obi-Wan did some dirty work on him. Killed him like 3 times.
Luke, come over here. Let me help you take a bath. That's Obi-Wan for you. Just kidding. I like Obi-Wan.
Amazing. I never want this to end. Heather and George's plan worked, and so Haber now was open and honest. And the aliens are on Earth, but they're nice. So he's honest about playing God. He doesn't stop, though. He's just now open about it.
He's still a dick.
Yeah.
He's just honest about being it. McKylan talked about that once. He's like, just because you're honest and you tell it like it is doesn't mean you're not a dick.
Yeah. And this is the perfect picture of that. This is that friend that's always like, but let's just let me play devil's advocate real quick. And it's always just your dick friend who they just never say anything nice, and they always just okay.
This feels like a personal attack.
What if genocide is correct? Shut up. You're a bad person. Go spank yourself. Go give yourself a red hiney.
Exactly.
Yes.
Is that what you want?
I don't want a red hiney per se.
I don't want to see it. I don't want to see it, but do it.
I don't want to see themselves do it, but I think it's necessary. They need to give themselves a red hiney.
They have to do it.
Well, because you don't want to make anybody else hurt them.
No.
It's the ethical way to go.
We're just being ethical.
We're ethic majors.
Let's talk about ethics.
You,
Let's also talk about Essex, my favorite city in England.
Ooh, or the tragic boat that sank because a whale attacked it.
Was that the Essex?
That's also in Essex.
Oh, because I just read that book. That's why I'm thinking about that. The Essex.
That's right. Phonetically, E-sex.
E-sex.
It's like sex.
Which is what a lot of lonely men are doing right now.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Real comes full circle. I don't know what I just said.
It real comes full circle.
Real come full circle? That's profound. Evan Cannell.
So Haber is changing a lot of stuff, and the gaslighting continues, but now it's just like he's like, well, what are we gonna do? Not make the world a utopia? He's like, you can change anything. We have to. So he's growing increasingly frustrated with the fact, though, that no matter what he changes, the cosmic scales always balance in the new reality, and he blames George for this. He's like, you can't help but make bad things happen.
He's like, George, you keep effing up these dreams I keep giving you. You dirty rat. You stupid idiot. Like, why are you doing this?
It's not my fault at all.
Can you take that again, Kyle, but in the Obi-Wan voice?
Yes, please.
George, you dirty rat, you stupid bitch. I don't know what that is anymore. It's not Obi-Wan. It's
a little Frank Sinatra, I feel like.
Little Frank Sinatra, NPR.
Oh, yes, it's the guy from NPR.
This is Biblio Phools. George, you dumb bitch. Why would you keep effing with reality? Now let's listen to some dude play the violin or something.
Nobody plays the violin in this book, but it would be cool. So Haber's final solution to this is to create a machine that replicates George's brainwave patterns and then puts them into himself. So it'll allow any dreamer to change reality. Using this machine, he breaks reality completely.
F's right up. And this is after, I don't want to backtrack, and I'm sorry, but before he does this, he's like, let's get rid of racism. And so, okay, he gets rid of racism, and then they wake up, and everyone is gray. Just this weird, gross gray. And Heather doesn't exist anymore.
Yeah, she doesn't exist because she was biracial.
Because she's a biracial woman, and that's part of her identity. And so George is like, damn it, I miss Heather, and I sure wish that gray people weren't so damn ugly. Like, it just takes a lot of the beauty out of the world. So this idea that, racism is bad, obviously, let's get rid of it, but then it takes away the uniqueness and, the beauty of certain people. So he just keeps effing up. Haber can't do it correctly.
Yeah. There's a beautiful little scene, right, where Haber's just sort of neutralized the world, and it's just unrecognizable, and George has all these memories from every reality that ever was, and he finally goes to, like, this antique store that's run by one of the 9-foot alien suit guys, and they have a word for what George can do, and it's like it doesn't translate to English at all. They can't translate it, but they have a word for it, and he says like, how do you control it? What do you do for it? And he gives him a Beatles record, with a little help from my friends, and he puts that on and falls asleep. And when he wakes up next to Heather. They're married, and he starts crying because she's gray, and he misses her brown skin because that's like, it was the uniqueness of people, right? It's like the whole, I mean, we'll get into this a little bit more, but the whole thing is very Taoist. Ursula K. Le Guin was kind of a Taoist teacher, actually. But the whole point is that, like, when you have variance between people in skin color, you get racism. But the other side of that coin is, like, the beauty of people's uniqueness, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that was cool.
I also thought that was cool, but
I like that part.
No, it was a great part. I mean, you already said it. I don't really have anything to add other than saying it was that cool. But it was, I wouldn't exist, and it just made me think a little bit. Where I was just like, oh yeah, like racism itself is really just a simple issue of just being like, hey, people are different, be cool. And so it's such an interesting, because you just don't think about it when it's just like, oh, people wouldn't exist. Like without racism, you also wouldn't have types of people. It's such a fascinating way that I would have never thought about, especially them just coming back as gray. Like them being gray and kind of lifeless was a surprise.
Yeah.
In the best possible way of just like, oh yeah, without any sort of all these cultural differences and like all these different regions that you come from, you're just like, oh yeah, everybody, it would just suck. Everything would suck.
Really?
Did you catch? I forgot about this, but I'm remembering it just now. What the aliens say when they like get off their spaceship and you find out they're nice, they like say their golden rule, but their golden rule is don't do to others what you wish they wouldn't do to you. And I think that that's so. It's actually really significant because I think it's an important distinction to what you just said. It's like racism is a matter of being like, don't be a dick about it. Don't do the things that you wish weren't done to you. It's not so much about like, George's passivity kind of plays in here too. It's like, it's not about what you go do. In fact, if you go do something, you don't even really, you can't predict the consequences of it. There's going to be good and bad things that happen. But if the golden rule was like, don't do being a dick things, then you kind of avoid that, right? Like that's sort of the morality.
Say it to me one more time. I'm halfway there with you.
Okay.
I'm so dead serious. I'd like say that one more time.
Yeah, so they're specifically not active. They're not saying go out and do good things to other people because then you have to have all these assumptions about what good is. They're saying don't do things you don't want to happen to you. And I feel like that's a shorter list. Like we can kind of agree.
Yeah.
Pain hurts, ostracism, loneliness, being a dick hurts. And so if you don't do that, you kind of allow everybody else to create their own reality without you having to decide anything for them. You know, it's just like, I would like a world where nobody's a dick better than a world where everybody's like doing the best stuff to each other.
Yeah,
for sure. Yeah, the aliens, I love that. I'm glad you brought that up. The aliens become profound very quick, and they kind of are this vehicle for Taoism and to help George come to terms with how he needs to be and treat his effective dreams. And it was just such a left turn to be like, oh, now they're aliens here? Oh, and they're actually like super smart and they're beautiful and teaching George things that no one else could teach him. Not what I expected in this book. I was not expecting a lot of psychology or critique on racism and the beauty of everyone. I just thought this was going to be a book about dreams and flying saucers, but man, was I pleasantly surprised.
No, this book is deep as fuck.
And it has flying saucers. It's
perfect.
And
it's set in Portland.
My God.
Even more perfect.
Just doesn't get any better. So Haber he figures it out. He makes George dream one last dream to make it so he doesn't dream effective dreams anymore. And I'm like, you could do that the whole time, you asshole, but I guess we're not surprised.
Yeah, you can do whatever you want. You didn't one time just dream, I don't want this to happen anymore.
Well, and poor George, the whole thing, he's like, you're just supposed to be helping me, man. Like, you're supposed to make the dreams go away. That's his only thing he wants from Dr. Haber.
Yeah.
And Dr. Haber's like, no, I'm just gonna milk you dry, buddy.
Until he can reproduce the power himself, and then he's like, okay, now home you go. You don't dream like that anymore.
He doesn't, when Haber does it, he goes, like, all the realities kind of like crash in on each other, and then he goes crazy, right?
Yeah, so this is where, yes.
Isn't that before? Is it this, or is this before? Is that
Well,
before
makes
this?
him
after.
He makes George so he can't dream effective dreams anymore. And then he's like, all right, see ya. And George is like, hey, you probably shouldn't get in that machine because, like, can you control it? He's like, I can control it. I can fucking control it, okay? And then, remember, in this reality, George and Heather are married, so they kind of walk hand in hand away. And then Heather is like, I'm getting too detailed, but it was so beautifully written. It was so, like, emotional. Heather's like, something doesn't feel right. I feel wrong. Like, and George just realized, like, oh, Haber's destroying reality right now. And then it's sort of a race against time, this melting universe. And it's like this, it's very 2001 A Space Odyssey, that part where he's getting launched through space, you know, and it's like all psychedelic. It's kind of like that. And finally finds, like, in this dark, you know, darkness for as far as the eye can see, there's like this one chair in the center, and very cinematic. There's Paul Giamatti in the chair, absolutely fucking brain dead because he blew up his mind. And so he, like, just turns off, he, like, clicks off the thing, and the world sort of comes back in a picture. But it's an amalgamation of George's realities and Haber's
It's all the realities that, like, come together now, right?
Yeah, it's like an entirely new, nothing like it was before.
Yeah.
No, and this is, I mean, like, a lot of the book, I'm like, come on, George, you got to do more. You got to be less passive. I admire his, you know, his like, living without guile. I admire George so much, but I'm like, come on, man, you got to do something. You got to do something. And eventually he does it, but he waits until, like, the perfect time. Because the whole time Haber's like, hey, I'm going to take your power. I'm like, George, do something. And he doesn't. And he just walks out of the office. But he steps in at exactly the right moment after being patient and waiting. And it fixes everything, but then it also destroys Haber, which is poetic justice.
Got him.
There's the
Correct
poetic
use
justice
of the phrase, Kyle Dunshee.
Thank you.
Can't be stopped. So he goes back to his job, which in every reality he tends to be like a designer. So now he's a designer. He's happy at his job, and in walks Heather, and she's brown again. And he's so good. It's so good to see her.
Thank goodness.
She doesn't remember him. He basically asks her out, right? And then she's like, "Well, I got time." And then they walk out, and the sun.
And he works for the alien that taught him about the Beatles.
Yeah, he works for the yes.
I think the most...
I just love that detail, that they, like, still maintain this friendship and are still... I love his, like, little buddy sidekick best friend is a benevolent alien.
The world is nothing like they remember it. Heather doesn't remember who he is, but it's the start of a beautiful relationship. And perks, there are still aliens that talk out of their elbows. And the end.
The end. Oh, what a book.
Great book.
The most unrealistic part about this book by far is that it was a song written by Ringo of all the Beatles that helped get him in the right spot. It wasn't John, it wasn't Paul, it wasn't George.
This Ringo hate is bullshit.
No, I love Ringo, and Ringo's a far better drummer than anyone gives him credit for.
Yeah, everybody's like, oh, Ringo's the worst Beatle. George Harrison's the worst Beatle.
No,
okay?
no.
Fuck up, dude.
George Harrison's the best Beatle. Are you
George
high?
Harrison's
Are you
the
high?
worst Beatle.
Stop it. No, he's not.
He is the worst Beatle.
You don't know anything about the Beatles then.
No, because Paul writes the best songs. George Harrison writes okay songs. Ringo writes the worst ones. But Ringo holds all the songs together.
Okay, you forgot about John, who's just a giant piece of shit, but a musical genius.
John Lennon's the worst Beatle.
Thank you.
Yes.
I agree with that.
Okay, that's my bad. Because he torches the whole group. He's the problem.
Yeah, okay. So you do know about the Beatles. Forgive me.
don't blame Yoko
I
for
blame
John
Yoko.
being a horrible douche.
John was already not a great guy.
Look
Yeah,
at
he was
it.
already an asshole. Yoko just was she's like a catalyst. She's just the tool that he uses
Yeah.
to
I
hone his douchebaggery.
just like Ringo is a good person. He's a better drummer than anyone gives him credit for.
And he's just the sweetest, happiest
And he's a
Beatle.
sweet guy, but George is the best Beatle by far.
Agreed.
Thank you.
It's hard for me to decide a worst, but we can just leave it there.
John Lennon.
I can't.
As far as okay, as
I'm not a
far
big
as like
Beatles
a
guy, to be
human
honest.
beings go, as far as human beings go, John is the worst.
Yeah.
All right, fine. Fine.
Musically though, John's up there.
Wow. So what do we think about the book, fellas? What do we think about The Lathe of Heaven?
The book was, I give it 9 out of 10 talking elbow aliens.
Yeah.
Amazing.
9 out of 10. I can't give it 10 out of 10 because it's no East of Eden, but like it's really freaking good.
I take it back. I give it 10 out of 10.
Okay.
It's so good. I wouldn't change anything about it.
I was going to say that before you said your thing, Kyle. I want that to be known. I wasn't just disagreeing with Kyle to
dick.
disagree with him.
I give it a 9. Well, I give it a 10. I give it an 11.
Hey, I'm back. Oh, dude, whatever you said is wrong.
And I'm Paul McCartney for the Beatles, helping Obi-Wan Kenobi give Luke a bath.
And I'm John Lennon. Oh, I'm an asshole.
That's a great John Lennon.
As a ghost.
Ooh.
I
Oh, it's
wanna
me,
be
the
haunted
ghost
by
of John
Lennon's
Lennon.
ghost. Can
Oh,
you imagine?
a fat guy shot me. Ooh.
He's a little
I don't
piggy boy.
like religious folks much.
I'm John Lennon. You want to hear my wife scream and call it music? Get out of here.
Ooh, I was being bullied by this woman, but I took it out on everybody else. Ooh.
But I also beat her a few times, and everyone forgets about that.
Ooh, I was a bad guy.
Did that happen?
Yeah, domestic abuse.
Not great.
Not great.
Well, ladies and
Anyway.
gentlemen. Okay, I really want to make the book in one word happen. Can we do it? Because
Yeah.
I want to put a table of that on the website.
Oh,
The
that's
book
great.
in
People
one
know
word.
the vibes.
Do we have like a library of words that do we have our own internal library that we're referring to?
Yeah, it's just like it doesn't have to make sense. You don't have to explain it. We're just gonna put the word. So pick a word to go.
Well,
with
I'm saying, like, should we have as a group our words that we use? Like, we have our ranking system of words.
No, I kind of
You're
like.
think-
the
you're
idea
thinking
that
too much about
it's
this.
It's just a word, because then you
Just a
can use the
word.
combination of the 3 words to be like, oh, it's that kind of book. You know,
No, fair.
this is the idea.
Oh, so we're gonna have like our own. Eventually people are gonna be like, we need you guys to read our book. No,
Yep.
that's assuming we're gonna get famous or like amazing.
You're manifesting it. Dream it. Believe it. Be it.
Dream. That's one thing I wanted to talk about. I loved. Okay, 2 things. Sorry, we got so off on the John Lennon stuff, but I
Okay,
want
we
to
got
say
time.
this. I loved the idea of like we all live on our own reality thing. This book does that perfect. I know there's like, I don't know if you guys have that in your kind of belief system, but like your reality is just kind of yours, and everybody's reality is kind of independent, and then we come together, and that's where life is, and it's like all these things matching each other. So I loved that being how she displays that so just plainly. That's not a deep read on the book. I just loved that, and then I got excited, and I got too excited about that, and I forgot my other one.
That was a good one, though.
It was
But that
good.
I just that idea. That's why I love science fiction is when you can go into those kinds of things without, because I think science fiction and fantasy gets really religious, whereas science fiction gets a lot more heady. And I love
Mm.
that heady experiment, or I don't know, of going into like, oh, so if everybody had their own kind of reality, what would that be like? And like being able to go into those, what does that do for the mind? And how George's mind is really just broken, and he's just kind of dealing with his trauma, and he's learning how to just accept his reality as opposed to trying to change like these bad things that happen or the things that he hates about himself. And that journey of self-acceptance was, I think, it's what holds the book together, so that you don't hate George, because I think we all kind of have that. And so that was my favorite part of the book, is because it was just, I don't know if you guys ever have that where you're just sitting there and you're just like, I'm a monster piece of shit. I don't know if you
Sometimes.
guys,
It's
yeah,
not just
right,
you. It's not just you.
right.
Come on.
And so
We're
I
all
I just
mindless pieces of
appreciated.
shit.
Yeah, sometimes we are, and sometimes most times we're not. I would hope.
Beautiful.
And so I love that kind of my main takeaway from the book was just like, oh yeah, if you just stop hating yourself for 5 minutes, maybe you have a best friend alien and like find your wife.
Yeah.
Yeah. I love that. Kyle,
Yeah. The word.
just what did you think about it? I think,
Okay,
yeah, we
sorry.
never did that. We got off on the Beatles. So what
No,
are your
I'm so
thoughts?
sorry.
We'll come back to the
We'll
word
come back to the
at the
word.
end.
I,
Yeah,
I,
we'll
I
come
thought it was an awesome book. I think it was we're kind of two in a row for books that I feel I needed to help me move forward in life, and both books I was not expecting at all. I got a lot from this book in terms of how to deal with my own struggles and things. It just kind of spoke to me, but it's also just like a really good read. So if you're not me and you don't have my issues and idiosyncrasies, I think it's still a really good book that takes you on an incredible journey and makes you think.
Yeah, 100%. I don't think we've talked about this, but I love Taoism,
Yeah.
and I didn't realize that was going to play such a heavy part of this book, and so I loved sort of the examination of Taoism through this story of the kind of in the a big part of Taoism is like inaction. Like they call it Wu Wei, which means something like, do nothing in action. And the idea that like, so Mac, you talked a little bit about like your belief system, like it's all your own reality. I'm a big fan of thinking about it like you're a piece of the universe sort of observing itself, and that if there's a grand purpose, it has something to do with just like being an observer of something that's happening, like a giant explosion in the universe. And so I liked that idea that George plays the perfect balance of yin and yang, just like observing things. And Haber is way too, like, we got to get things done, way too utilitarian. And I think it's sort of like, I don't know, culturally, I feel like there's a lot of pressure to be that way. Like, go make things happen, go figure out the right things and figure out what you want and go get it. And I think it was a nice, refreshing, like, or not, you don't have to. It's still a beautiful life to observe.
It's
No
just
matter
as
what
valuable to just observe.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
I loved it.
there's not a ton. I mean, I think it's just the way or Zhangzhou, I'm butchering that, and books by Lao Tzu. There's not a ton of literature for Taoism, but I would add this to the list because I think it helps teach it in a really interesting way. So I totally agree. This was just exactly what I needed, right up my alley. I love this book. If I had to put it in one word, I'm just coming up with this now. I think we should do one word for. Sorry, it's so mean.
No, continue. What you just came? I love this idea. I love this idea.
Evan had this brilliant idea where we try to encapsulate it in
Who,
one.
Evan? I thought that you just came up with this idea just now.
No, I can't. Evan had this idea, and if I had to sum this, it's hard one word. I would say mesmerizing is probably how I would describe this book.
Nice. I would say psychedelic.
Nice.
Entrancing.
Ooh. We chose some good words because we
Good
read
words.
some good books.
I think mine just means Kyle's. Hold on, I want a different word. Entrancing is synonymous with mesmerizing. Let's hold on.
It's okay. They can be similar.
Bibliofools.
This is weird, but I'm gonna say beefy.
Beefy.
It's beefy.
I
Because
like
it's got
that.
so many, it's got a lot of ideas, and it's so rich and just full. It's beefy.
And it's
know?
it's not that long. It's beefy for 184 pages. I like that.
It's like a steak where you're just like, oh my god, there's just so much in this. Like, I got meat sweats. It's just,
Got the meat. I'm having the meat sweats.
I'm having the meat sweats. It's
Amazing. Well, ladies and gentlemen, another book in the books. We'd like to thank our sponsor, Dennis Quaid.
Why the hell is Dennis Quaid
I
our
hated this.
sponsor?
Why is this in the script? I was in a movie with Dennis Quaid. It's called American Underdog.
Follow us on Instagram at BiblioFools. We're online at bibliofools.com. Follow the show on Spotify. Tell your friends to listen to episode 4 so they'll want to keep listening after that. If you have a book recommendation, bibliofools@gmail.com. We'll read it, we promise. And,
unless you're my brother Drew, stop recommending us books we've already read, Drew.
And I don't know about. I'm not promising we'll read your book.
I promise we will. We'll read every goddamn one of them.
We'll consider it, but damn it, Drew. I know we want to give people what they want, but stop recommending shitty books.
What did he recommend? Did he
recommend Twilight and Fablehaven. I've read both of those. Not as an adult.
The gears are turning for Mac, and I don't like it. We'll see you next week, everyone.
See you next week. You can leave now.